Hello students. In this video, I'm going to provide some background information on the Reconstruction era from 1865 through 1877 here in the United States. In class, you'll be working on projects and writing connected to the Black Codes, and this video provides some context for understanding the Black Codes. It's important also to know what primary and secondary sources are, so make absolutely sure to watch the video on that topic. In January of 1865, before the end of the Civil War, the 13th Amendment to the Constitution was passed. This is the amendment that abolished slavery. It stated in part that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So that slavery was officially ended in the United States. It's important to note that this amendment was passed before the Civil War officially ended on April 9, 1865, which means that it was part of the Constitution when the Southern states wanted to return to the United States. At the federal level, leaders understood that some support would be needed for former slaves' transitions to freedom, although not everyone was happy to provide it. The Freedmen's Bureau was established by Congress in March of 1865 and provided food, medical aid, housing, legal assistance, and other types of assistance to freed slaves. It also oversaw the opening of thousands of schools throughout the South and helped to establish several colleges that are now HBCUs, which is historically Black colleges and universities, including Howard University, Fisk University, and Hampton University. President Johnson at the time did not support the Freedmen's Bureau because he thought it interfered with states' rights, and it was dissolved in 1877. Reaction to the passage of the 13th Amendment by white landowners and citizens in the southern states was generally quite outraged and furious. Former slave owners in the South were afraid their way of life would change forever, with newly freed slaves being allowed to own land, work for money, and build their own lives. As a response, Southern states began adopting Black codes, laws that restricted the rights of free people. They denied the right to vote, serve on juries, own land, or carry weapons. They also curtailed rights to free assembly. Punishment for violating the Black codes included fines, beatings, and jail time spent on a work crew. To prevent the Southern states from almost recreating slavery, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution was passed. The 14th Amendment made the Black codes illegal. It states in part, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state in which they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. What this says is that Black people were entitled to the same rights and privileges and due protection of the law as the white citizens of the states in which they reside, and that no state would be allowed to pass a law that abridged those rights. The Black codes became illegal immediately. The Southern states were not happy about the 14th Amendment. However, they did want to return to the United States. So the federal government imposed the following conditions. In order for a state to return to the United States, it had to nullify ordinance of secession from the United States. At least 10% of the citizens of the state had to take the oath of allegiance to the United States. They had to cancel any war debt, and they had to ratify the 14th Amendment. In return, once they became a part of the United States, all Southerners who lived in that state were pardoned. This gives you a bit of background on the Reconstruction era in the United States. Remember that in class you'll be working with primary and secondary sources, so make sure to watch the video on that topic. It will be important. And now for a bonus. On your quiz, you'll be asked for a bonus phrase from this video. That phrase is, "Flip learning is great." Make sure to remember that phrase, make sure to watch your videos. and I'll see you in class.